What's up, everyone? This is FPSticks bringing you a tournament video from a tournament I had a couple days ago here in Westminster, Colorado, in the Ferocious Cup. My first opponent is against Loudmouth Nick. You can see our teams up there on the screen there. So he leads Donphan, I lead with Umbreon. That Donphan's counter damage is definitely going to be pretty significant against my Umbreon, just trying to throw some foul plays here and get this Donphan out of here. So he's continuing to build up energy. I'm thinking that this is a heavy slam, but I end up shielding that just to be safe, and it ends up being an earthquake. So good thing that I shield that. Switching to my Vaporeon, trying to farm that Donphan down, but he switches out into his Bibarel. So I'm trying to shield bait with the Aqua Tail right now, trying to draw that shield, and I do get it, which is great. Now, even if this is a Hyper Fang, it's not going to be able to take me out. It does a lot of damage though, but I know that I'm going to have enough energy to get to a last resort, which I do right here. Not able to take him out, and he is able to fast move me down there. At this point, I know he still has that Donphan in the back, so I'm bringing in my Umbreon, getting a little bit more energy. I do end up shielding that Surf because I just want to farm down that Bibarel. I'm expecting the Donphan to come back in. There it is. I didn't know how much energy he had, so I just went straight for the foul play to ensure that he was not able to get a charge move off on me. There's that Piloswine, which is definitely an interesting choice in this cup. Piloswine is actually a decent counter to Scumtank, but I just wanted to ensure that I could at least get off some charge moves here, so I swapped in my Scumtank. He's still got a shield. I draw the last shield with that Crunch, which is great. Now, he could have gone purely with fast moves and probably would have been able to feint me down, but he burns his energy there, which is awesome because I still have energy in my Umbreon. Switch it back in, throw in these charge moves now, and I know that one more foul play should do the trick, and I'm able to get to it, which is great. So I end up taking that first match. That Piloswine is definitely an interesting pick, but I do see that he's running Donphan and Piloswine, two things that are weak to water. So that is one of the reasons why I brought my Vaporeon in that first match. Going into the second match, I'm sneaking a peek at his team of 6 again, and I'm just gonna run that line, Umbreon, Scumtank, and Vaporeon once again. This is a line that works fairly consistently for me. Now here, I obviously have a horrible lead, so I go for my safe switch of Scumtank. He's opting to stay in, which is very interesting. I just go for the Crunch here. Most people, when they use their Alolan Ninetales, they like to shield it and keep it healthy, so I'm able to get to a second Crunch. So he was trying to just feint me down with those charms. It was not working out. Able to burn both shields, but he has a lot of energy stored up now. I believe I come in with Vaporeon here, yep. If he were to throw an Ice Beam, I would have been able to tank that, but I still got 2 shields, so I'm going to shield whatever this is. Ends up being a Psyshock. He probably was super close to having enough energy for 2 Psyshocks there, but here's the Bibarel again. Bibarel is one of those Pokemon I've been struggling going up against. That Hyper Fang damage is really nice because it gets stab on it. But I'm able to switch out there, and I was able to catch his Surf with my Umbreon. He brings in the Piloswine again. I know this is a great match for my Umbreon. I still have a shield, and these foul plays are going to do good damage. But that Avalanche really does a good amount as well. I tried using Piloswine for a period of time, but I just could not get the feel for it. I didn't like that it was weak to water, and also weak to that counter damage from Donphan and Brick Break from Alolan or Kanto Raichu. But he gets to that Avalanche, takes out my Umbreon, but I knew my Vaporeon was fairly healthy and has energy. I'm able to get to this last resort, which is great. I still have a shield, and at this point I just go for Aqua Tail, which should be enough to take this out. Yep, ends up working out. So I take the second match there, which is great, feeling pretty good. I really enjoy running the combination of Umbreon and Scumtank, and then kind of flexible on that third Pokemon. I ran Shelgon in this cup within my line of 6. I still do not know if I like Shelgon that much, but that 6th spot is still kind of up in the air of what I'm thinking about bringing in. For this cup, it was Shelgon. Maybe it'll apply some bench pressure to discourage people from bringing in waters, but it definitely encourages people to bring in charm users. So we have an Umbreon mirror match here, something that you're going to see a lot in the Ferocious Cup. Super long, super boring. There's no point in attempting to shield bait. He was able to sneak in a fast move while I was doing my charge move there, which is good for him. He already has the energy advantage now. Just going straight last resorts yet again. The IVs on my Umbreon are really bad. That's kind of what you run into when you have these legacy Pokemon with legacy movesets, but Umbreon is definitely a must-have within this cup, especially with the last resort. He swapped in his Piloswine, which I thought was interesting because now I got it switch locked against my Vaporeon, and this is great. That avalanche damage was insane. Resisted damage, and it still did like about 40% to Vaporeon, which is pretty nuts. So I definitely shield this second one. It also could have been a Stone Edge or Bulldoze, depending on what second move he's running on it. Throws the Aqua Tail, takes it out, which is great. That Umbreon comes back in. I know I can survive a foul play. So I have a little bit of health left, and I have just enough energy left to get to this Aqua Tail, which is great. He's going to take out my Vaporeon here. I still have my Umbreon and my Scumtank, and I'm up a shield, which is really great. I bring back in my Umbreon, just in case he had an Alolan Ninetales or something. I kind of want to save that Scumtank as a flexible option in the back. He throws his charge move, and I'm not able to get out of there in time. Catch the last resort with my Umbreon, and then I switch in my Skunk to farm a couple of fast moves, get the energy advantage. There's Barrel again. That little beaver is like the bane of my existence in this cup. Maybe I just need to buckle down and start running Barrel as well. I've seen a lot of people running double water strat, and that's been kind of messing with my brain. But I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on the beaver. I need to do some more testing. But I end up taking the third game there. So good games, Loudmouth Nick. That was the end of the first round. In the second round here, I'm up against Kuda Style. Take a look at this team. It took me like 5 minutes looking at this team to just like try to decipher what the heck is going on. This is the spiciest team that anyone's ever seen, man. Genghis Khan, Perugly, Heatmore. Super whack. We end up getting some lag in this first game, but we decided that it was mutual lag, so we just continue to play it out. I see that this Heatmore has Lick as its fast move, which I definitely think that Fire Spin might be a better choice for this, but he switches in the Granbull, so I switch into my Scumtank, which is a pretty good counter to Granbull. Again, most people are going to shield their charm users, so I just went straight Crunch there, even though it would have been resisted damage, but Granbull is pretty squishy. So I let him take out my Skunk. I'm up a shield advantage. I know he has that Heatmore with Lick, which hardly is doing any damage to my Umbreon, so I kind of wanted to save that matchup, so I brought my Vaporeon here. His Granbull is out. I know he still has Heatmore. And his third Pokemon is Genghis Khan. with a fighting fast move. I had to look this up after the tournament of what this move was. Is low kick, which I'm pretty sure is a quite terrible fast move, just in terms of damage and energy generation. He throws power up punch there. I could not for the life of me remember what charge moves Genghis Khan learned. I know it could learn like Mud Slap as a fast move, so I was kind of expecting that, but he went with low kick. I knew Heatmore had Thunder Punch, so I did shield that correctly. This is probably another Thunder Punch, and even a non-stab Thunder Punch does a lot of damage. But these licks are doing absolutely nothing. Umbreon is such a tank. I have energy. I throw 2 foul plays here. And the Heatmore goes down. So good first match there. Crazy off meta picks. But it's kind of fun to go against these strange Pokemon. It definitely made me think a lot about what I had to bring in. So for this second match, I'm running the same line of 3 that has been working for me so far in this tournament. Umbreon, Scumtank, and Vaporeon. Perugly comes out, man. Look at this fat cat. And it's running Shadow Claw. So again, hardly doing any damage to Umbreon, but I have no idea what charge moves that this freaking cat has. I'm assuming probably something with fairy damage, so I do shield this first one. Thank goodness it ends up being Play Rough. That would have done a lot of damage to Umbreon. I know Play Rough takes a lot of energy to get to, so I do farm a little bit with those fast moves. Throw the foul play here. Because Perugly is a normal type, these foul plays will not be resisted. So this is still a good matchup for me. He gets my my second shield with an aerial ace. Please someone tell me why this fat cat learns a flying type attack. I have no idea why, but he brings in Granbull. I see, yeah, Charm Granbull, so I have to get out of there. I bring in my Skunk, and his Alolan Raticate comes out. So this is where the flamethrower damage is going to be pretty good. Sludge Bomb would have been a better choice for a charge move on my Scumtank, but I like Flamethrower for the mirror match, which against certain opponents I run into a lot, the Scumtank mirror. So I like to have that as a little surprise. He's also running Bite on his Alolan Raticate instead of Quick Attack. So there's just interesting moves and interesting Pokemon choices all over the place with this match. He gets the Crunch. Scumtank still survives. Not very tanky, but I tried to switch out there. It didn't end up working out. Bring in the Vaporeon again. He's got the Granbull, but Granbull is significantly squishier than Alolan Ninetales, so I know that I should be able to take this. That Aqua Tail does a lot of damage. Assuming this will be a Crunch. Yep, and I still end up surviving that. So non-stab Crunch, Vaporeon ended up surviving. That was the second match. So I won the first 2 games, but we're going to play out the third match. I definitely enjoy these very odd matchups against these Pokemon, so it's kind of fun. Now, you guys are about to see something that you've probably never seen before. Are you ready for this? So I end up bringing Shelgon. I don't know what charge moves this Genghis Khan has, but it is charging up something big. It's doing a lot of fast moves. I hate being shield baited, so I let this go through. One-shotted by a freaking Genghis Khan, man. But now I know what it has. It has Outrage, and that hurts really, really bad. So I'm trying to just farm this thing down. He gets to another charge move, and at this point, he just has me running scared. I don't want to be hit by another Outrage, so I shield a power-up punch, which feels absolutely horrible. There's that Perugly again. I know what moves it has now. Aerial Ace and play rough. So able to get that shield. I have so much energy on this Vaporeon right now. Just going for another Aqua Tail, trying to put some shield pressure on. Does a good amount of damage. Perugly does not seem to be that tanky. And I tell you what, this is the first time I've gone against that stinking cat. So switch in my Scumtank because that Shadow Claw damage is going to be resisted from it. There's that Heatmore again, but the Lick damage, I just don't think that Lick is the way to go here. It's resisted by so many things. Crunch does so much to Heatmore. Holy cow. I know he's got Power Up Punch and Thunder Punch, so I'm not going to shield either of those. I'm able to fast move him down. That Perugly comes back, just going to shield this, and I'm assuming just fast move this down, and that should be a wrap. Good games, Kuda style. You always have the spicy picks, and you really make me think about what I need to bring in. I've never been hit by an outrage from a Genghis Khan before, and this tournament was held like inside of a McDonald's, so we were hooping and hollering when we heard that. Is pretty nuts. So this third round is against J. Robin Stacks. He is a very, very good trainer. I practice with him fairly regularly. Kicks my butt like 75% of the time. So I knew the pressure was on, and I knew that I had to do something a little bit different if I was going to be able to beat him here. So I didn't like that first lead matchup. So I swapped in my Alolan Ninetales to go against his Umbreon there, but he switched into his Vaporeon. So throwing the Psyshock here. I'm able to take it out. I'm down a shield. So he ran double water here, which is something that has really been messing me up, which is why I included Shelgon in my team of 6. But, man, this double water just really screws with me. I'm trying to shield bait here with Aqua Tail. I do end up getting it, which is great for me. He brings that Umbreon in again. Now, this is where me running Flamethrower on my Scumtank kind of is a disadvantage for me. Sludge Bomb is definitely a better matchup against Umbreon. This Flamethrower is going to do decent damage, but that Sludge Bomb is really nice to have. So I know this is going to be pretty close. I end up using that last shield there. I catch the last resort, which is great. But I feel like he might be able to. No, I'm able to get to the crunch, which is good. He uses his last shield there. This is definitely going to be a last resort. I survive with so little health. He switches into Barrel. And at this point, it's pretty much over. Pretty sure this is a Hyper Fang, and yeah, takes me out. Prime example of me struggling against double water strat. So he takes the first game. At this point, sweating, the heart's pounding a little bit. I'm used to losing to Jason. But I know I need to do something different if I'm going to be able to even take one game off of him. So, I believe I bring in the really risky lineup here. Umbreon, Scumtank, and Shelgon. 2 things weak to Alolan Ninetales. So extremely risky. We start out with this Umbreon mirror match. Aren't these things just the coolest things to watch? Super long and drawn out. No shield baiting taking place. Just last resorts all over the place. Not going to shield anything, obviously. The Donphan on his team of 6, that counter damage really messes with me. But I've done that matchup before, and I'm actually able to win with very minimal HP. My Umbreon is. However, our IVs are distributed. That's kind of how it works out. But we're still in this Umbreon mirror match. This is sweet. Don't want to give up that switch advantage. But But I'm getting the feeling that he's going to try to pull something fancy here. And I'm assuming maybe switch into Scumtank. So I beat him to it. I switch into my skunk. I let this go through. This is a last resort, which is the correct play. There's his skunk. Now, he has a significant health advantage on me, but I do have the energy advantage. Now, he shields the flamethrower, which is really bad for me. I have to shield whatever this is going to be. Ends up being a crunch, which he correctly did that. Go for the second flamethrower here. But this flamethrower isn't a surprise anymore because he caught the first one with the shield. Experiencing just a little bit of lag there, but it was mutual lag, so we decided to continue to play it out. He lands a Sludge Bomb, which took me out. Gonna be a really close match. I bring in that Umbreon because I don't want to show my final Pokemon, but he switches into Barrel. Very interesting. This foul play is going to do good damage. He loves to hold on to his shields. I'm trying to get those shields off, but he's still holding on to them. So I finally bring out my Shelgon. This was my little surprise pick for the cup. Trying to just feint this thing down with fast moves, but he's able to get off another charge move, which would have taken me out. So I had to shield that. I know he's got that Scumtank. I fast move it down. Go for the flamethrower here, because he's still got that shield. Burn the last shield, and I'm able to fast move him down with such little health left. Crazy close game 2 there, Jason. Woo! These battles are always really challenging, really mentally draining too. Just trying to pick a line of 3 and get inside your opponent's head is really tiring sometimes. So, final game here in this third round. I bring in Nidoqueen as the lead, which I feel like is a pretty risky lead, especially when he's running double water. And I had never played out this matchup before, Nidoqueen against Donphan. I'm predicting that he is running Earthquake on his Donphan. So, but I risk it big there, and I don't shield that Heavy Slam, which was huge for me. Obviously going to shield this here, because I'm going to be able to get to another Earth Power. It's another Heavy Slam. If he would have thrown an Earthquake on that first charge move, and I didn't shield it like I did, this match would have been a completely different outcome. I get both shields, and I got the defense drop on Donphan as well. He switches into his Vaporeon, so it's got a little bit of energy. But I bring in Umbreon, which is a hard stop to this. So I'm just farming energy here. Aqua Tails are going to be fine. Last Resort would be fine. I should have enough energy at this point for 2 foul plays back to back. That was my thought process with this. And I do, but he sneaks in Aqua Tail in between those 2 foul plays. Charge up a little bit more, get to this foul play. I know he likes to do some fast switches, so there's the Donphan. Oh man, it had enough energy to get off another Heavy Slam. I end up shielding this, but that counter damage is gonna hurt, so I gotta get this thing out of here. I throw the foul play. I probably should have just thrown the foul play right away instead of trying to get any snarls off. We both have 2 Pokemon left. Oh, so it's the Scumtank mirror match with no shields, even energy. This is one of the few moments I feel like where Flamethrower helped me out here. Charging up a lot of energy here. Land the Flamethrower. At this point, he is in crunch range. I believe he gets a Sludge Bomb off. Man. Oh, but I'm still alive. He tries to catch the charge move with the Vaporeon, but I just smack it with one fast move, it falls, and I'm able to get the game 3. Look at the amount of health that I had on that skunk. Crazy close. Crazy close. Our battles are always so intense and so close. So very good games, Jason. And I actually just had another tournament today, and he kicked my butt in that tournament today, so he got his sweet revenge. Final round here is against Licensed to Draw, my friend Raul. He gets the lead there, so I have to hard switch into Scumtank right off the bat. He's opting to stay in here, which I like, because I'm able to get these crunches off, put shield pressure on. A lot of people think that they can stay in with that Alolan Ninetales against Scumtank because the charm damage is still pretty significant. But if you let that skunk get on a rampage with the energy, it gets out of hand really fast. So his Barrel was able to charge up a decent amount of energy there before fainting. I bring the Umbreon back in because I do not want it to be locked in with that Alolan Ninetales. He goes for the Hyper Fang. I'm up a shield here because that Scumtank put really good pressure on the Alolan Ninetales. But Barrel is out. I'm expecting Alolan Ninetales to come back in right away. So I'm getting ready to switch out of here fast. I just swapped straight into Vaporeon. Didn't really care what it was. Still got 2 shields. I end up using one right here. I believe I just try to... Oh, never mind. Maybe I should have fast moved him down there, but I end up throwing the Aqua Tail. I get the last shield, which is great, and then I end up fast moving him down anyways, so... good situation for me. Nidoqueen is in the back, which makes sense why he burdened that second shield there, because this is an amazing matchup for me. Shiny Nidoqueen at that, which is awesome. Looks like a big green dinosaur. I could have possibly shielded this and maybe gotten off the Aqua Tail, but I was just playing it safe. I'm up a shield. I know Umbreon's going to be able to take it out. So I'm able to take this first match against Licensed to Draw. Good game there. He's rocking Lagoon, kind of as that flex pick. I tried out Lagoon for a little bit. I still just can't decide between like Lagoon, Shelgon, or an electric type, or Alolan Sandslash. I don't know. The other 5 on my team are pretty securely locked in, but that 6th spot is up in the air. So going into the second match here, there's the Lagoon. I know this is a good matchup for me because that Shadow Claw damage hardly does anything. So throw the foul play here. Just putting some shield pressure on it. Gonna see how he responds. Lagoon is like average tankiness. He makes the safe switch into Scumtank. So this is one of those scenarios where if I see that they're getting a fast move energy advantage with Scumtank, I kind of want to throw my last resort with my Umbreon to either put shield pressure on or get the health advantage for when I eventually switch in my Pokemon, which at this point ends up being the Vaporeon. Ooh, low power mode came up there. That was kind of scary. I almost missed my shield. Trying to just go for the fast move feint down, and I get it. He was probably very close to a crunch. There's that Lagoon again. So Lagoon is a pretty decent anti-water. Definitely going to have to shield that Grass Knot, but I have energy built up, and these Aqua Tails are definitely going to add up. He's within range of one more Aqua Tail, so I'm throwing it here. Able to take it out, which is awesome. But he's up 2 shields. He saved 2 shields for this freaking beaver. So at this point, I'm just putting on as much shield pressure as possible. I know Aqua Tail is going to hardly do anything, but I need those shields out of there. So Vaporeon did its job. It's going to go down here to the Surf. Bringing in Scumtank to apply even more shield pressure. He lands the Surf here, does good damage to Scumtank. We lag a little bit here, but So I'm able to get in a couple fast moves there, and I see that he's lagging, so I stop attacking and I tell him to get a couple fast moves off to try to even up the match. And so we agreed that it was still fair play there, and that it wouldn't have necessarily affected the outcome. This barrel was kind of in a tough situation, had a lot of work to do in order to take that match. Look at that thing, freaking surviving with like 1 HP. It's crazy. I snarl it down. So at this point, I had won the tournament, but we agreed to play out the third match. So I think I decided to go with an interesting lineup on this third game. Just I'm still trying to try out new stuff. Yeah, this lineup where two things are weak to charm. Not the best. And he leaves with the Alola Ninetales. This is absolutely horrible for me. I'm just hoping that he stays in with this Alola Ninetales, so I throw the Crunch immediately, trying to burn a shield or get this thing low, because this Alola Ninetales is going to absolutely sweep my team. But he switches it out, and at this point, I already kind of knew that this match was over. I wasn't able to take out that Alola Ninetales, and it is just going to wreak havoc on my Shelgon and my Umbreon. Could have possibly shielded that, but I just let it go. I maintain the shield advantage here. Believe I bring back in the Shelgon. I don't want to show my third Pokemon yet. I don't want him realizing what an amazing matchup ahead of him he has. Another 1 HP surviving there, man. Scumtank. Had to burn the shield. I know the Alola Ninetales is coming back in. My only hope is that for some reason he doesn't shield this flamethrower. But he shields it. So this is absolutely horrible. This thing is just chunking away, man. I'm assuming this is going to be an Ice Beam. I have to shield it. Yeah, that would have done a ridiculous amount of damage. So at this point, I'm able to take out the Alola Ninetales with, ooh, I go for Foul Play here, which is enough to take it out, thank goodness. But he's got an Umbreon in the back. So this is definitely like GG's at this point. I was still able to take the tournament, which was awesome. I went 4-0. This was the first Ferocious Cup tournament that I did this month. Wasn't weighted, just using it kind of as practice. Had a tournament today, which was another 4-rounder, and I went 2-2. Did not feel good. I had some really tough matches today and did not play very well, but didn't weight today's either, which is great because we're having a big tournament in Denver next Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 6 rounds for sure, so definitely going to weight that one. So I hope you all enjoyed this first Ferocious Cup tournament video. This is also the first time I'm doing a face cam commentary, so let me know what you think of that. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. See ya.